All right, so last question, number 10. And this question is actually very similar to what we just did in number 9. On number 9, we were finding the cost per ounce. And so here we're finding something slightly different, but it's going to be the same idea. So what it says is it says that the 8-ounce bottle of Coke, or Gatorade in this case, contains 14 grams of sugar, and then the question is how much would be in a 20-ounce. So the nutrition label is telling you that for an 8-ounce that there's going to be 14 grams. And so we're saying is that, well, using that, because it's the same mixture, right? So it's the same formula for Coke, or Gatorade, I'm sorry. So the bigger bottle is going to have obviously more sugar, and so we're just trying to figure out how much sugar that would be. Well, so what we could figure out is that if we knew how much was in 1, then we could know how much was in 20, right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to do the sugar per ounce. So for what we know that there's 14 grams of sugar in 8 ounces, right? So let's do that division, see what we come up with. So you get 14 divided by 8, and then that gives us 1.75. So if there's 1.75 grams of sugar per ounce, we'll say per ounce, then the question is, well, how much would there be in 20? Well, we just need to multiply the two. So a 20-ounce bottle, right, times the 1.75, we multiply that out, 20 times 1.75, and you get 35. So if there's 14 grams in an 8-ounce, that means that there's 35 grams for the 20-ounce bottle. 20-ounce bottle. Now that's one way you could solve it. We figured out what the unit unit rate was as far as sugar per ounce. Another way that you could solve that would be a proportion. So let me show you a second way. Not that you'd have to do it both ways, but I just want to show you there's two ways that you could think about it. So it's taking the same fraction that we came up with. We said, well, there's 14, and this is sugar in grams, and this is ounces. So there's 14 grams and 8 ounces, and then the question is how many grams, well, we don't know, so let's call that x, would be in a 20-ounce bottle. And the reason why I could set these two fractions equal to each other is because we're making the assumption that the batch of Gatorade is the same formula, right? So these two things are going to be equivalent. It's just one's a bigger size bottle. So what you can do to solve for x is that because you have a ratio here, you have a proportion, you can cross multiply. So I would say 8 times x to get 8x. And then I'd say 14 times 20, which is going to give me 280. We can multiply that out just to make sure, right? 280. So I've got 8x equals 280. And then divide both sides by 8. And 280 divided by 8. Clear all that stuff out. 280 divided by 8 would give me 35. Which that shouldn't be a surprise because we just said there's 35 there. So 35 grams. So, two ways of solving it. The first way was by finding how much, if you want to know how much is in 20 ounces, we'll figure out how much is in 1 ounce and then just multiply the two things together. Or the other way is you can set up a proportion where you take what you know to find out what you don't know. Don't have to do it both ways. Pick one. But just want to show you there's two ways of doing that. All right, so go ahead and pause now and try 10.2 and 10.3, and then you'll be ready to take the test. All right, so let's check 10.2. Should have got 640 milligrams. We were looking for how much sodium or how much salt is in Cheetos. And then 10.3, we're looking for how many calories in 13 Oreos. And so that would be 1,000. Oof, that's a lot. 1,040 calories, right? So hopefully these last couple of problems, 9 and 10, give you some example of some real life math that ends up getting used out there in the real world. So not just some random X's and Y's and random numbers, but something that actually has a context to it. All right, so make sure you have the study guide complete. If you've got all 3 columns complete, then you're ready to take the test. So come on in for that. All right, thanks for hanging in there, and goodbye.